3, Kim Willoughby. Side hitter of 5'11" junior from Kailua, Oahu. Number 5, Nohea Tano. And middle hitter of 6'3" junior from Stockholm, Sweden. Number 6, Karen Ludwig. And left side hitter of 6'2" junior from Lubbock, Texas. Number 9, Lily Kahumoku. And middle hitter of 6' junior from Fullerton, California. Number 14, Lauren Duggan. And libero of 5'6" junior from Carson, California. Number 15, Melissa Villarome. And at center of 5'8" senior from Honolulu. Number 1, team captain, Margaret Bacasausa. The assistant coach is Gary Anderson.
All cops in this arena, and these Rainbow fans, I think, can feel and sense something special. This is a very special group. They're very talented. They're very deep. They're very together. They can't wait to entertain these fans tonight. I think the only problem might be a case of the nerves. They've never had, I don't think they've played for the 10,000 before. And Margaret Bacasausa said this morning, you know, it's easier to play on the road. I want to please our fans so much, sometimes it's tough to live up to their expectations.
That's true, but they turned out in force tonight. Take a look at the Chevron Series in 1998, Hawaii over Ohio State in 3. We are underway. Willoughby serving, Virtue. That's Styling. Styling able to get it off the block of Duggan to the floor. So it is 1-0 Ohio State. Just underway. Back to serve is Shelley Drager, 5'11" senior from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Jump serve. Dug up by Willoughby. Bacasausa outside to Kahumoku. That'll be returned by Ohio State. Gomez able to get it across and down. 2-0 Ohio State.
Pongonis, one of 8 freshmen playing. That was her first collegiate kill right there.
Drager serving, serves it long. So Hawaii will have its first opportunity to serve. Lauren Duggan will go back to serve. Ohio State leading 2-1. Lundquist comes into the front row, replacing the libero. Serving is Duggan. Dug up by Pongonis. Down the middle, little touch by Gordon, and that gets in. That's a point for Ohio State. So the Buckeyes not intimidated at all. They lead it 3-1. Hawaii is yet to experience their first kill. Pongonis serving. Willoughby to Bacasausa. Back set to Kano. And Kano able to rip it off the block for the point.
Solid block by Gordon and Styling. 4 hands across. Tough to get past that. Watch for the next set to go outside to Lily.
For serving 1. Willoughby to Bacasausa. Here's Kahumoku. Double block. Off the double block. And that is the first kill of this season. Welcome back, Lily.
And Lily knew right where the small blocker was. Katie Virtue, their setter. She's only 5'9". She was on the outside, and Lily found her.
Kano serving. Virtue sets up Gordon. Bacasausa with the save. They worked it to Kahumoku. Kahumoku hits it into the net. So four hit for Hawaii.
Tough set to hit right there. That ball was inside and dying fast.
Stephanie Higgins comes into the front row for Ohio State. She replaces Anna Anderson. Serving is Susie Styling, 6'1" senior from Glenview, Illinois. Willoughby, Bacasausa with a little dink shot, and that confuses Ohio State. Stilling was able to get her hand on it, but she didn't get any help, and it was too close to the net. So there's 3 serving 5. Going back to serve is Lily Kahumoku. Kahumoku with the jump float. Virtue sets up Gordon. And Gordon able to get the kill. Ohio State is very sharp.
Tracy Gordon, part of a Canadian connection that Jim Stone, the Ohio State coach, has had going for many years now. She made Freshman of the Year in the country last year. Quite a player.
Virtue serving. That's popped up by Roman. Baka South sets up Kahumoko. That's off the block. Saved by Lundqvist. Baka South goes outside Willoughby. That's off the block. Good diving save by Gordon. Whalen helps her out. Baka South goes to Willoughby again. That's off the block. Or into the net. Hawaii is the one that has come out tight tonight.
Not surprising, Jim. I told you earlier I thought they might have a little bit of case of the nerves. And they're showing it right now. 2 balls into the net by Hawaii's 2 big left side hitters.
Virtue puts it into the net. It is now 4 serving 7. Ohio State leading early on in this first game. Serving is Lundqvist. Lundqvist taking the place of Gustine in the starting lineup. Virtue goes outside. This is Gordon. That's off Kahumoko. Waiting is Willoughby. Willoughby, Kahumoko behind the 3-meter line. Dug up by Whalen. Virtue to Gordon. 2 hits by Whalen. Rather, 2 hits by Virtue, I should say, the setter.
Remember, Virtue led the nation in assists per game last year. She is really good. 14 assists per game.
Lundqvist serves. Gordon to Virtue. Ball is hit by Drager. And that goes into the net. That's a point for Hawaii. And now Hawaii has come back in this first game, and they trail by 1. So Lundqvist goes back to serve for the Rainbow Wahine. Serves it deep. That could have been an out ball, maybe not.
I thought it was out.
Saved by Gordon. Hit by Pongonis. That'll be returned. Here's Willoughby. Popped up by Whalen. Virtue goes to Gordon. Nice shot by Gordon. Gordon going around the double block and depositing the ball just inside the line. Ohio State leads by 2, 8-6.
Well, you see why Gordon picked up about 5 kills a game last year. She is a good one. She brings the heat.
Stacey Gordon, the National Freshman Player of the Year. Kano, Baka South. This is Willoughby, yes.
You know, you'd think Willoughby, with her great vertical leap where she can go up and grab the rim, she touches about 10-6, actually. She can dunk a volleyball. Would like a high set, but she doesn't. She likes a little bit lower so she can beat the block like that.
7 serving 8. And that time, Baka South puts it into the chase. 9-7 Ohio State. Back in the game comes Anna Anderson, and she will serve. Styling goes back into the front row, along with Pongonis. Willoughby to Baka South. Step out move by Duggan, and that is returned out. That'll be a point for Hawaii. Duggan will be credited with the kill. 8 serving 9. Willoughby goes back to serve now here in this first game. Willoughby with that high toss. Serves it long. Ohio State at double figures in game 1. Drager will go back to serve. Shelley Drager. 57 aces last season. Serves it. Dug up by Roman. Baka South. Kahumoko.
So you got to credit Margaret Baka South for giving Lily that set right where she likes it, near the antenna where she can tool Katie Virtue, the smallest Ohio State blocker.
Lauren Duggan will serve now for Hawaii. 9, serving 10 in the first game. Dug up by Gordon. Here's Virtue. Outside to Styling, off the block. That's popped up by Baka South. Kano goes to Kahumoko. They patty cake at the net. Saved by Lundqvist. Advantage Ohio State. Pongonis hits it. Did it touch anybody? It didn't. It went out.
Well, Hawaii caught a break there. The block tried to touch it. The back row diggers tried to touch it. Nobody did, so they get the point.
So Hawaii now has evened this match. We are tied at 10. Serving will be Duggan. Duggan serves. Pongonis chased down by Virtue. Pongonis gets it across. Hits it deep. Hits it out.
Freshman error. This is what Jim Stone told me yesterday at practice. He said, Chris, you know, the only thing I'm worried about is that our freshmen are going to make some mistakes early on in the season. A month from now, though, watch out. We'll be good.
First time Hawaii leads in this game, 11-10. Virtue, Pongonis. Pongonis able to get it down between the double block of Lundqvist and Kano.
Pongonis shows why she made second-team All-State in Ohio last year in Cincinnati.
Pangona serving. Willoughby works it to Baca South close to the net. Missed it by Lundqvist. That's a point for Ohio State. They've had 2 straight points now, and they assume the lead 12-11 here in the first game. Martha Pongonis out of Cincinnati, 6-foot freshman. Line drive serve, popped up by Willoughby. Baca South to Kahumoku. That's off the block. Saved by Pongonis in the back row. Styling gets it across. Saved by Baca South. Kano to Kahumoku. Kahumoku with good court vision.
Smart play by Lily. She saw the back row back on their heels waiting for her heat. Instead, she gives them a little change up, and it drops for the kill.
We are tied at 12. Kano serving for Hawaii. Serves it down the line. Virtue sets up Gordon. Gordon rips it between the double blocks and hits it out. That's another case of Hawaii not touching it. And Hawaii leads 13-12. Serving is Kano. Virtue to Styling. Rolling, diving dig by Willoughby. Kano with the save. Here's Kahumoku, double block. Gordon gets it across. Kano works it to Baca South. Step out. Lundqvist. And that goes off Styling. That's a point for Hawaii. On a save by Willoughby.
Willoughby, as usual, showing her old athletic self. Lundqvist, by the way, no relation to Angelica Lundqvist.
Serving is Kano. Here's Gordon. Gordon was wide open for Gordon. Lundqvist and Baca South just did not come together on that double block.
Dave showed you up off the bench, and I'm sure he's telling Lundqvist, hey, you know what? Make sure you know where Stacey Gordon is all the time. Always go up on her.
14-13. Hawaii leading game number 1. Willoughby to Baca South. Lundqvist. That'll be saved by Virtue. Pongonis gets it to Gordon. She puts it deep in the corner, but that's out. 15-13. Hawaii game 1. We'll take a television timeout. We are underway in the 2002 season. Kahumoku serving. 15-13 Hawaii. Hits the tape. That's saved by Higgins. Hit by Gordon. That goes off of Duggan. Chased down by Villaroman. Here's Kahumoku. That's blocked. Kahumoku with the save. Villaroman gets it across. Advantage now for Ohio State. Gordon. Tough angle. The block was in front of her. She tried to go around it, and she hit it out.
Difficult angle. She had Margaret Vakasau, Hawaii's smallest blocker, down the line and chose not to hit over her.
Biggest lead for Hawaii here in this first game, 16-13. Jennifer Carey comes into the game as the setter now, replacing Margaret Vakasau. Serving is Kahumoku. Is this a surprise?
No, I think Dave showed you wants to get a bigger blocker in there right now.
Higgins, blocked by Willoughby. Willoughby, that solo block.
Remember, Jen Carey played very well in the Stanford match in the spring, and she did it by blocking well up front and getting the job done there. So I think that's why Shoji's looking at that.
Kahumoku with that jump serve. Virtue goes outside. Here's Gordon. That's off the block. Saved by Willoughby. Higgins gets it across. Chased down by Kahumoku. To Willoughby. Right over us. Hit it wide. 17 for Hawaii, 14 for Ohio State. Going back to serve for Ohio State is Katie Virtue from St. Charles, Illinois. Over 14 assists a game last year. And Willoughby hits it long again. So Ohio State back to within 2. 15 serving 17 in the first game. Virtue serves it again. That goes over the net and down. Duggan saved it. And that surprised Ohio State.
Jim, with all Hawaii's firepower right now, they're hitting 0-0-0.
Whoa.
7 kills, 7 errors. Ohio State not much better, hitting they're hitting 0-0-0 as well.
Lundqvist serving. Set up for Drager. And Drager, that's a point for Ohio State. 16 serving 18. The Buckeyes staying close here in this first game. Vakasau back in. You're exactly right about the blocks. Carey goes out. Here's Gordon with that high toss. Serve dug up by Villaroman, waiting. Vakasau short set to Duggan. That dribbles down, and Whalen cannot get it across. 4 hits called on Ohio State. And Hawaii now leads 19-16. And Margaret Bakasau goes back to serve for the Rainbow Wahine. Serves it. Straight serve. Dug up by Gordon. Virtue sets up Pangonis. That's dug up by Kahumoku. Bakasau. And the hit by Willoughby. That'll be returned. Willoughby with the block. Off of Drager. Willoughby at the net has been brilliant.
And Willoughby got tooled this time, though. Goes off Willoughby's left arm. She gets up and it goes right off those taped fingers of hers. By the way, nothing wrong with her fingers. She just likes to tape them.
That ball dismissed. Willoughby unable to control it on that block. Willoughby hits. The ball is dug up by Anderson, and then that goes out. So Willoughby getting it back.
Well, Anderson right there. Surprised she couldn't control that. She's got 23 matches of international play.
Willoughby is very quick. She will serve. Jump serve. That's dug up by Pangonis. Here's Stiley, mishit. Mishit off the set. 21-17. Hawaii all of a sudden leading by 4. And Jim Stone in his 21st year coaching Ohio State calls the timeout. Fine bank. There's Evan Dobell and Walter Dodd. Serving is Willoughby. 21-17. Overpass. And Kahumoku takes advantage of that.
Well, Kahumoku quickly gives the credit to you-know-who, the server, Kim Willoughby, who forced that overpass.
Willoughby again to serve. This is wide. That's a point for Ohio State, 22-18. So Drager will go back to serve now for the Buckeyes. Long cross, jump serve, but into the net. She gets the point right back. 23-18 Hawaii in the first game. UCLA defeating Colorado in 4 games in the first match tonight. In the Hawaiian Airlines Wahine Classic. Serving is Duggins. Pangonis. And Duggins with a good save. Bakasau with the save. Willoughby gets it across. Styling, Virtue, Styling through the double block. Saved by Duggins. Saved by Tano. Kahumoku gets it across. Virtue outside. Pangonis off the block. Off Virtue. Drager goes to Pangonis. Saved by Willoughby. Bakasau to Lindquist. The rally continues. Pangonis little touch. There's Lundqvist. Tano to the middle. Willoughby. That's off the block. Right there from her knees is Drago. What a rally. Hit by Pangonis. Saved by Duggan. Tano goes to Kahumoku. She pushes it. Did it hit the block? No, it did not. It went out. That's a point for Ohio State. What a rally. And the crowd applauds it.
And this crowd of almost 10,000, very few empty seats here tonight, loves the volleyball play. That was quite a rally.
19 serving 23. Pangonis to serve. That's dug up by Willoughby. Bakasau to Lundqvist. Anderson. Virtue. And Gordon. And that goes off Willoughby and out. That's another point for Ohio State. And it's 23-20. Timeout has been serving 23 in game number 1. Kahumoku bumps it to Bakasau. Hit by Tano. That's blocked for the triple block. 3 players were there. 2 participated. And here comes Maya Gustin. Gustin coming into the game for Lundqvist.
Now, Maya is so humble. She is not the kind of person for the dramatic entry. However, this is a pretty dramatic entry.
Gustin, that's blocked, but she saves it coming back. Kahumoku, that's off the double block. Little patty cake. Gustin gets it across. And that goes down. That ball went down in front of Pangonis.
And Maya picked up her first kill of the year. I'll tell you, Jim, we're seeing 2 good teams. It's not inconceivable that these 2 teams in December in New Orleans could be in the Final Four. They're that good. I'm very impressed with the Ohio State team, and obviously Hawaii, one of the most talented teams in the country.
Heather Alustroy now has come into the game for Hawaii, and she will serve. That ball hits the antenna. That's an ace for Alustroy. So Alustroy gets Pangonis to hit out of kilter. And it's 25-21, Hawaii by 4 here in the first game. Serving again is Alustroy. A ball dug up by Drago. Hit by Gordon. And Gordon just whips it to the floor.
It's one person.
25-22.
One person cannot be left alone. You will see Lily Kahumoku go up there. She can't get back out to go on Gordon. Not as necessary to help with the middle as it is to make sure somebody's blocking Gordon.
Styling hits it long. That's a point for Hawaii, 26-22. Waylon the Libero comes back in for Ohio State. In that front row now, Willoughby, along with Waka Sao and Gustin just into the game. Serving is Kahumoku. That's bumped up by Pangones. Ball is hit by Drager, and that ball is hit long. That's another point for Hawaii. They lead by 5, 27-22. Hawaii started slowly in this game. They finally took their first lead at 11-10. They lead now 27-22, closing in on the first game. Now Carey will come back into the game, and she will take her place in that front row for Waka Sao. So it is Carey, Willoughby, and Gustin. Serving is Kahumoku. A ball bumped by Drager, chased down by Virtue. Hit by Gordon. Gordon can really hit. And Gordon just line drives it for the point. Hit it off Duggan. 27-23.
This is what's called an out-of-system play. There's no play being run there, and they still managed to get a kill out of it.
Gustin.
Oh, my, did she jump up and make a turn on that? She saw the block right in front of her and just twisted her shoulders, turned her arm. 1 foot takeoff in front of the setter. I don't think Ohio State's seen that yet this year.
28-23, Gustin serving. Drager to Virtue. Step out, Higgins, that's blocked. Getting the ball across is Gordon. Kahumoku, Carey. Carey sets Willoughby. Double block is up. Willoughby gets it through. 29-23. Aloha ball for Hawaii in game 1.
Excellent dig, controlled dig by Lily Kahumoku to make sure that she got the ball right to Jen Carey. Carey gave a beautiful set to Willoughby.
What a difference Gustin has made since she has come on. She serves for the first game. Drager, Virtue. Here's Gordon. Gordon again.
Wow. She's got some velocity on that, doesn't she, Jim?
Her 8th kill.
She's one of the hardest hitters I think I've ever seen, especially as a sophomore. She's a young one.
24, serving 29. Gordon, jump serve, dug up by Illustre. Outside it goes to Willoughby. Willoughby hits it off the double block, and it wiggles down in front of Higgins. Hawaii wins the first game, 30-24 over Ohio State. Some of the crowd, and it is a capacity crowd, up and cheering as we take this break.
Welcome to M-Life. And the numbers do tell the tale here. Hawaii hitting 175, about 75 points or 85 points below their season average last year. Kill percentage for Ohio State, 0.95. A few too many errors for the Buckeyes. Blocking was, I don't know.
We begin as Anderson serves for Ohio State. Willoughby. Willoughby again with that helicopter move. She gets up, stays up, looks at the court, and then selects one from her repertoire. 1-0 Hawaii. Willoughby to serve.
You're absolutely right, Jim. She saw the block forming in the line. She chose to go cross court.
Little patty cake, little jousting at the net, and Styling able to get it down. We're tied at 1. Drager serves. Willoughby, Waka Sao, step out move, Duggan. That'll be returned. Pangones, Drager, and Gordon. Willoughby is able to handle it. Step out move again by Duggan. That rat-a-tats around, and from her back, Drager tried to keep it alive, couldn't do it. That's a point for Hawaii, and credit Duggan with the kill. Duggan will go back now to serve.
This is a very athletic team as Ohio State. Watch how they keep the ball alive, almost hitting it from the ground in the prone position. They never stay down.
2 serving 1. Into the net, Duggan. Phil-Roman will come in for Duggan. Phil-Roman, the libero. Gordon will go back to serve now for Ohio State, just underway in the second game. Hawaii leads in this match, 1-0, winning the first game 30-24. Gordon serves, gives the point right back, right into the net. You know, we mentioned that there are a lot of service errors, but this is the first game. As There's a lot of baggage that goes with it. Lustre serving. Little touch at the net. That time styling Windsor. Notice that Maya Christine again not starting the second game. Lundqvist gets to start again. We're tied at 3. Styling the third. Villa Roman, Baka South, Lily Kahamoku. Virtue was the only one who could go up, and when that happens, it's no contest. And we see our first point pounder sign.
You know, it's hard to believe that an All-American like that would only draw one blocker. But she did.
4 serving 3, kind of lollipops it over. Step out. Higgins. Kahamoku is there. Hawaii trying to keep it alive. Finally, Willoughby gets it across. Virtue sets up Pangonis. That's blocked by Lundqvist. Dreger gives it to Gordon. That's blocked by Willoughby. Dreger punches it across. Step out. Lundqvist. Gordon is there. Rally continues. Pangonis. And that ball goes off Olustra. That's a point for Ohio State. Ohio State again winning a long rally. Dave Shoji is up.
Dave Shoji wants a back row attack by Dreger. He thought Dreger was above the net when she hit the ball over during that rally. I thought Dreger was still standing on the ground. It was not a back row attack. Looks like Denise Hansen's going to give the ball to Ohio State, claiming that Dreger was, in fact, below the net.
That's great. Thank you.
So Virtue will now serve for Ohio State. Illustrate to Baka Sasa. Lundqvist pounds it. That'll be returned. Virtue goes to Pangonis. Here's Willoughby. Willoughby gets it by Whalen.
You know, it's amazing how Willoughby can save a broken play like that. The middle attacker, Lundqvist, had to bump set that ball up. It went off one arm to the 10-foot line. Willoughby just stands and jumps, kills it.
Lundqvist serves. Dreger to Virtue. Here's Dreger. He pounds it off the block. Double block was up, but not an effective one. Baka Sao and Duggan. Villa Roman comes in. Into the back row is the Libro. And serving will be Pangonis. We are tied at 5. Pangonis serves for Ohio State. Chasing it down. Ad lib. Finally, Kahamoku gets it over. Advantage. Ohio State. And Higgins able to pound it off that block.
Well, Hawaii's got their Smurf lineup in now with the Illustrator in the back row, Villa Roman. And actually, I think Baka Southall could qualify as a semi-Smurf.
Semi-Smurf. Pangonis serving. Villa Roman goes to Willoughby. That's dug up by Whalen. Ball is hit by Dreger. That gets by Willoughby and down 7-5. Ohio State by 2.
Nice back set that time by Virtue.
Pangonis serving. Illustre. Baka South. Willoughby. That's blocked. Duggan to Baka South. Willoughby will try it again. Gets it in. You may block her once, but if you put the same 2 up, expect something different. That's exactly what happened.
She'll win that battle more often than not. If she gets any kind of a set at all, any kind of an approach, Kim will usually finish.
Illustre goes out. Tano comes in for it. Baka South lollipops it over. This gives Ohio State the advantage, and they take advantage. Virtue getting the credit that time. Anderson comes in to serve now for Ohio State. They lead 8-6 here in the second game. Anderson serves. Kahamoku overpass. That's returned. Villa Roman, Baka South, Willoughby off the block. Ohio State trying to scramble. They get it across. Joust at the net. And confusion on the Hawaii side. Credit Ohio State. They seem to have it more together at this point in the second game. They now lead by 3. Baka South appealing to Denise Hansen up on the pedestal.
Hawaii blew their chance. They had a free ball there. They passed it too close to the net. Baka South could not handle it.
Serving will be Anderson. Crowd trying to exhort the Rainbow Wahine. That time, Duggan didn't really get a good swing at it, had enough on it to have it elude the defenders. So it is 7 serving 9 as Willoughby goes back to serve now for Hawaii in the front row. Kahumoku along with Tano and Duggan. Willoughby serves. Dug up by Dreger, almost an overpass. Good save by Vakasau. Kahumoku gets it over. Chased down by Virtue. Here's Gordon. That's blocked. Great save by Anderson, but it came out wrong.
Jim Stone not happy with that. You know, the new rules allow the first contact to be very liberally called. You can massage that ball, and Denise Hansen just felt like the massage lasted a little bit too long.
8 serving 9. Willoughby to serve now for Hawaii. Dug up by Gordon. Here's Virtue. Virtue backs that step out and getting the ball down with styling. Ohio State out by 2. They get the double figures here in the second game. Hawaii winning the first game 30-24. 10 serving 8. Here's Vakasau setting Willoughby behind the 3-meter line. Willoughby hits it long. Ohio State now leads by 3.
I'm impressed with Ohio State serving right now. They're being very aggressive, trying to score points off their serve. Worst case scenario, they're hoping to get a bad pass.
Drager serves off the tape and in. That's another point for Ohio State. They lead 12-8. They lead by 4. Hawaii has to call. Central Pacific Bank. Fiercely loyal bankers. One each in aces. Drager serving. Vakasau sets up Kahumoku. That's blocked. Here's Ohio State's Gordon. That's blocked. And Gordon again. Blocked again. That time by Tano and Duggan.
Other than Vakasau, that's the smallest block that Hawaii can put up. Tano and Duggan's each around 6 feet tall. And they go toe-to-toe against Ohio State's best attacker and blocker twice in a row.
9 serving 12. Duggan serves for Hawaii. Gordon works it to Virtue. Styling step out. Kahumoku along with Lundquist. Hawaii really getting the blocks working now. And they trail by 2. Duggan continues to serve for Hawaii. Over the tape. There's Gordon to Virtue. They try the dump shot by Styling. Doesn't work. Puts it into the net. And Hawaii comes back in a hurry. They trail by only 1. Moments ago, they were down by 4. Duggins again to serve. And to take away the momentum, Jim Stone calls the timeout for Ohio State. We will, too. 12-11 Buckeyes. 30-24, Duggan will serve. Here's Virtue beating Styling. Styling's head. Nothing on that. She put that into the net. And she embarrassingly smiles.
This is very, very unusual for Styling. She's normally a very high percentage hitter. Hit 378 last year, which is an incredibly high number.
Hawaii has made up the stagger. We are tied at 12. The dump shot doesn't work. Hawaii responds, and it has Ohio State all over the place. Anderson couldn't keep it alive. Our floor wipers are wearing T-shirts courtesy of the Queens Medical Center, Hawaii's leader in sports medicine and orthopedic surgery. 13. Hawaii now has scored 5 in a row. They lead it 13-12 here in the second game. Here's Gordon. Missed hitting. That gives Hawaii the advantage. They go to Kahumoku, double block. Gordon with the dig. And finally, hitting the ball is Styling. Nobody was there in the back row. Styling getting the kill.
It was a long drought for Ohio State. They had a commanding lead before Dave showed you we call a rare timeout. And Hawaii just came roaring back. We got to show the ball game here.
We're tied at 13. Gordon serves. Willoughby pops it up for Vakasau. Willoughby behind the 3-meter line. Off the block. Saved in the back row by Gordon. Virtue to Drager. And Drager hits it off the block. That's in. And Ohio State now is back in the lead. 14-13.
It was back set by Virtue. Good hand position. Drager gets a good swing at it.
Gordon serves. Takes something off. Kahumoku to Vakasau. Step out Tano. That's off the block. There is Anderson. Virtue. Ball is hit. by Pongonis. And Pongonis gets it down in front of Villa Roman. So now the momentum to the team in white. 15-13.
Pongonis with 4 kills, finds a way to beat that block. That block set pretty wide by Tano. Should have moved in a little bit.
Served by Gordon, popped up by Willoughby. Villa Roman to Kahumoku. Kahumoku gets it across. Pongonis hits it way long. So Hawaii comes back, and they trail by 1. 14 serving 15. Header Illustre comes into the game replacing Tano. Illustre will go back to serve. In that front row now, Lundqvist, Kahumoku, and Bakasau. Illustre serving. Ball is hit by Styling. Good save by Willoughby. Bakasau, Kahumoku, little touch. That'll be returned. Styling blocked by Kahumoku.
Lily was not happy. She got dug. It went up. Not a very good chip shot on her first attempt. But she comes right back with a block solo to still get the point.
Tied at 15. Illustre again serves. That is wide. Illustre gives the point back. And Ohio State now leads 16-15 in the second game. Into the game for Ohio State, Stephanie Higgins, number 5. She rotates into that front row. Stylings will serve. Styling just over the net. Villa Roman overpass. Pongonis handled by Willoughby. A little joust at the net. Bakasau, but we have a net violation. It's going to be on Bakasau. That's a point for Ohio State. They lead now by 2, 17-50.
Credit Styling for a tough serve there. Forced a pass too close to the net for Bakasau to handle.
Styling to serve for the Buckeyes. Willoughby bumps it to Bakasau. Kahumoku, yes. Kahumoku between Higgins and Virtue. Kahumoku now with 6 kills in the match. Hawaii trails by 1. 16 serving 17. Kahumoku looking for the tie. Serves it. Drager almost an overpass. Joust at the net. Bakasau, Lundqvist. Here's Willoughby. Yes. Willoughby gets it down in front of a double block. Higgins and Virtue again. And Hawaii has come back to tie it at 17.
Smart choice for Willoughby to go down the line there. The shortest blocker for Ohio State. Camped out right there. Katie Virtue at 5'9".
Now Kahumoku looking for the lead. Pongonis, that's off the block. Kahumoku in the back row. To Bakasau. To Willoughby. What an angle by Willoughby, and that's in. What a hit by Willoughby.
Talk about a helicopter and a turn. She goes up, the block is all over her, so she goes up, twists and turns, and cranks it inside the 10-foot line. Lundqvist says, I haven't seen that in Sweden before.
Kahumoku puts it into the tape. We're tied at 18. Serving will be Virtue of Ohio State. Villa Roman to Bakasau. Here's Willoughby. Double block is up. Willoughby rips it right between that double block. Willoughby is amazing. We mentioned last year that if there's anyone better in volleyball, we haven't seen it. Willoughby is just an incredible talent. She has 10 kills. Here's Virtue. Virtue with the short set. Doesn't work to Higgins. Hawaii with the point. Hawaii leading now by 2, 20-18. This would be a perfect time for Hawaii to build distance between themselves and Ohio State. Serving is Lundqvist. Big hit by Drager. Drager and an excellent set. Drager getting the kill. That's her 6th.
Drager, one of 3 seniors in this Ohio State team, trying to anchor the experience.
Bakasau, little touch by Duggins, and not handled well by Ohio State. So Duggins will be credited with the kill. She has 6. Into the game for the first time, in fact, into the game for the first time as a Rainbow Wahine, Susie Bogart, 6'2" freshman from Bellflower, California.
The block on the right side. If they set her, watch how hard she hits it.
Bakasau, that's off the block. Villa Roman guides it to Bakasau. Duggins is blocked. Duggins with the save. Bakasau back to Willoughby. And Willoughby hits it off Morton. Willoughby now with 11 kills. Hawaii leading 22-19. And just starting to build some distance between themselves and Ohio State. Serving again is Bakasau. Here's Virtue. Outside to Gordon. That's off Bakasau. Boy, Bakasau really took the hit. That's off the block. Kahumoku. Bakasau. Here's Willoughby. Willoughby hits off the block. Willoughby now with 12. Hawaii 23, Ohio State 19.
Remember, Willoughby averaged 7 kills a game last year to make All-American honors. She's averaging 6 kills a game right now, picking up right where she left off.
We'll be back. Bakasau to serve 23-19. Hawaii leading in the second game. Ball dug up by Gordon, waiting his Virtue. To the middle to Drager, but there's Bakasau. Face down by Bogart. Ball is hit by Willoughby. That'll be returned. Gordon pops it up near the net. A little top shot. And Hawaii unable to react to it. Little Roman late coming up from the second row. Credit Anderson. 23-20. Ohio State now trying to make a run to get back in it.
Talk about it now, Lil.
Anderson getting ready to serve for the Buckeyes. Kahumoku to Bakasau. Here's Willoughby. Willoughby again, this time off Gordon. That double block that's going up, they're becoming confused now. They're becoming very mystified. Where is she going to hit it? Because she hasn't hit it anywhere around us.
Exactly. I mean, they go out to the outside of the antenna, she hits it inside. They drop in there on her cross court, she hits it down the line.
24-20. Willoughby puts it into the net. 24-21. Hawaii leading. Willoughby now with 13 kills. Serving will be Drager for Ohio State. Jump serve, excellent serve. Willoughby to Bakasau. Here's Kahumoku. That'll be handled. Little Roman with the save. Kahumoku again. That's off the block. Gordon is there, works it to Virtue. Back to Gordon. Hit blocked by Bogart.
Welcome to the NCAA Division I. Susie Bogart, 6'2" freshman from Bellflower, California. Fab 50, number 10 recruit in the country. Dave Shoji said, hey, she's a sleeper.
25-21. Duggan serving. Hawaii leading. Virtue goes to Gordon. Gordon hits it. Hawaii scrambling. Bogart gets it over. Advantage now for Ohio State. Virtue to Styling. Styling's on a step-up move. Styling's on that slide step. And Ohio State continues to remain in the neighborhood. It's 25-22 Hawaii. Gordon will serve, and she can rip it. Jump serve. Willoughby pops it up. Bakasau waits. Bogart. She hits it. Boy, Bogart rips it off of Anderson.
Did I tell you she's got a heavy arm? She's a good one. And the fans are welcoming her to the Stan Sheriff Center. She gets high fives all around as she goes back to the bench. There she is.
That was a line drive shot. Hawaii by 4. Serving is Illustre. Here's Gordon. Gordon is blocked. A solo block that time by Lundquist in the middle. 27-22. Hawaii has distanced themselves now. Jennifer Carey comes into the front row along with Lundquist and along with Kahumoku serving as Illustre.
And Lundquist played in the Swedish national team this past summer, so she's got some international batches under her belt.
Serving as Illustre. Virtue goes outside. And that ball goes off of Villa Roman as Pongona able to hit it. 27-23. Into the game comes Higgins. Hawaii leading by 4. Serving will be Styling. Styling of Ohio State. That is dug up by Illustre. Carey, step-up move. Lundquist. Lundquist hits that ball off of Styling. 28-23. Hawaii closing in on game number 2. Lily Kahumoku back to serve now for Hawaii. Kahumoku with the jump float. Gordon, little joust at the net. There's Carey. Illustre goes to Willoughby. Little touch over. 3 players were up. Little touch over the triple block, and it goes down. And that time, it was all finesse. It was flowing to the outside from the out-of-bounds line and then coming back into the court around the triple block. An amazing shot. 29-23. 14 kills now for Kim Willoughby. Kahumoku is serving. This is Aloha ball in game number 2. Gordon Ball goes outside. Pangonis hits it off Kahumoku.
So Pangonis has got 6 kills. She's only hitting 143. She's got 3 errors, but I like her a lot. She's going to be a good one. Watch for her to make maybe all Big Ten honors. Her 6 kills have been emphatic and dynamic.
Jackie Sharp has come into the game. She serves for Ohio State. Here's Willoughby for the game, yes. Willoughby, 15 kills, rips it off Whalen. Willoughby hitting 367. 15 kills, 7 digs. Hawaii leads in this match 2-0. The first game, 30-24 Hawaii. The second game, 30-24 Hawaii. Consistent game number 3 with Willoughby serving. Drager gets it across. Duggan, Pakasasa, back to Duggan. And that is dug up. The ball is hit off a diving Melissa Villaroman by Pangonis. And so it is 1-0 Ohio State. Serving is Virtue. Here's Bakasasa, back set Duggan. That's off the block. And here's 9-1. Chevron with Techron removes deposits other brands can leave behind so your car performs its best all the time. Duggins will serve for Hawaii. Hawaii leads in this match 2-0, winning both games 30-24. Gordon to Virtue. There's Drager. Duggan chased down by Willoughby. And Lundquist gets it across. Virtue. That ball is hit by Higgins, and that's returned. Lundquist with the save. Little push by Kahumoku. Rally continues. Pangonis. That's off the block. Willoughby sets up Bakasasa. Back set Bogart. And Gordon keeps it going. Virtue to Pangonis. Did that go into the tape or was that blocked? I don't know.
I thought it did. It's a moot point because that last ball went outside the antenna. Point Hawaii.
So Hawaii leads 2-1. And Duggins will serve. The ball dug up by Drager. Virtue Pangonis. Duggins is there. Chased down by Bakasasa. Sets up Kahumoku. Kahumoku. That's handled by Gordon. Overpass. Put down by Lundquist.
In case you just joined us, Lundquist is not related to Angelica Lundquist, former Hawaii great. She is from Stockholm, Sweden. Played at Montana State for a couple of years. Made second team all Big Sky.
Duggins puts it into the net. Hawaii leading 3-2. Pangonis will go back, the freshman from Cincinnati. She'll go back to serve. Pangonis with 7 kills. She wears number 7. Serves it off the tape. Willoughby right there. Bakasasa to Lundquist. And that ball gets down. 4-2. Changes for Ohio State. Jim Stone is up into the game for the first time. Number 13, Tamika Drake, 5'6" junior from Euclid, Ohio. She comes in for Pangonis. So Drake in the game for Ohio State. Serving is Bogart. She puts it into the net. That's her first attempt at serving. So there's 4 for Hawaii, 3 for Ohio State here in the third game. Hawaii looking for the sweep. Anderson will go back to serve now for Ohio State. She puts it in the net. 5-3. Jim Stone rather chagrined by this.
Well, Hawaii breathing a sigh of relief, too, because every time Anderson's gone back, she's gotten a bunch of points.
Kahumoku into the net. What is going on?
This is called the third game blues. Happens all the time. And Dave showed you he hasn't worried about one thing in this team. That's their focus. It sometimes lapses in and out. Right now, it's out.
Drager serving. Here's Willoughby. Willoughby is simply amazing. Deposited that ball in front of Drake. Drake got to it, but she couldn't control it.
Nothing like a Willoughby kill to snap you out of your lack of focus. You know, that'll get everybody's attention.
Hawaii leading 6-4. Serving is Lundquist. Here's Gordon. And she pounds that ball off Duggan. So that's a point for Ohio State. Gordon with 8 kills, and Gordon will go back now to serve. Willoughby, by the way, with 16 kills in this game, or in this match, I should say. Here's Gordon. Jump serve into the net.
Yeah, I think you have some fatigue setting in here, too. Gordon's had a lot of swings tonight. She carries a big load. And, you know, I think fatigue's going to be a factor.
Baka Sao knuckleballs it over. Drager chased down by Virtue. And then Pangonis gets it just inside the back line for the point. And Ohio State trails by 1.
You know, Jim, one thing Hawaii's got to be proud of tonight, I think, is the fact that Stacey Gordon's got 9 kills, but she's hitting .071. She usually hits 300. So they've done a pretty good job on the freshman of the year.
Styling serving. Baka Sao sets up Willoughby. A little push. Pangonis with the save. Virtue to Gordon. Gordon hits it over, but Duggins is there. Baka Sao works it outside. Willoughby off the block. And in. Good block that time by Ohio State. That time they solved Willoughby.
Yeah,
Higgins was there along with Virtue.
Well, the good news about Willoughby is that she hits the ball hard. The bad news is if she gets blocked, it comes back twice as fast.
We're tied at 7. Serving is Styling. Kahumoku to Baka Sao. Duggins. On a very quick set, Duggins gets it down, and it's 8-7.
Little timing set. They call that the 31. It's in the 3 zone on the net, about a foot above the top of that 7'4" net. Very difficult play. Well set by Baka Sao.
Whalen into the game now for Ohio State. The Libro. Virtue gets it to Pangonis, and Pangonis able to get the ball by Duggins, and also by the newcomer Bogart. We're tied at 8. Serving will be Virtue. We're in the 3rd game. Hawaii leading 2 games to none. Virtue puts it into the net. Boy, we've seen an epidemic of serves going into the net here in this 3rd game.
You know, for the first 2 games, Ohio State had 5 service errors. They got 4 already here in game 3.
Duggins will serve. Drager to Virtue. Step out. Higgins, that hits the line person.
Knocked the flag right out of his hand. One of the twins. Is that Kevin Chun or is it Darren? Your call.
That's Darren.
Your call.
That's Darren.
Boom, he got out. Barely got out of the way.
Duggins responds with an ace. Duggins is saying, I'll teach you to hit a line person. It's 8 for Ohio State, 11 for Hawaii. Duggins serving again. Serves at the angle. Drager to Virtue. Here's Drager over the triple block that's up. Baka Sao, Bogart, and Kahumoku. Is it in? Yes. Just in. That's a point for Hawaii. Hawaii now leads 12-8. And they pulled away to a 4-point lead pretty early in this 3rd game.
Looks like Jim Stone's going to wait until the 15-point mark to get the free timeout.
Serving is Duggins, 12 serving 8. Virtue in front of the net goes to Drager. Drager hits the net. That's another mistake for Ohio State. And Hawaii is up 13-8. As you look at a very concerned Jim Stone in his 21st year coaching OSU. Serving is Duggins. Drager to Virtue. Back set Higgins. And Higgins with a kind of an off-speed hit. Getting it down. That's a point for Ohio State. 9 serving 13. Going back to serve is Amanda Miller, just into the game. 5'11" freshman from Littleton, Colorado. So Miller serves. Dug up by Duggins. Baka Sao step out. And Lundqvist hits it long. Another point for Ohio State, and they've cut the lead to 3. So Miller back to serve again for the Buckeyes. Duggins, mishit, chased down by Baka Sao, hit by Bogart and in. Bogart got that ball by Gordon near the net. 14-10, Hawaii up. Bogart will go back to serve now.
When Kahumoku and Willoughby move on, Bogart may be the heir apparent.
Bogart serves. Gordon almost an overpass. And they say back row attack on Ohio State. We'll take a television timeout. Hawaii up by 5, 15-10 in the 3rd game. And they are thinking, and tomorrow night, the Warrior football team opens their season against Eastern Illinois at Aloha Stadium. Kickoff is scheduled for 6:05. Serving is Bogart. Susie Bogart, 15 serving 10, 3rd game. Hawaii leads in this match 2 games to none. Gordon. Gordon with a whizzer that goes long. 16-10, Hawaii up. Healthy lead here midway through the third game. Serving as Bogart serves it long. Whalen in the back row to Gordon. That's blocked. Whalen with the save. Virtue at the 3-meter line. Little touch by Drager. Bogart goes to Kahumoku. That's off the block. Diving dig by Miller. Ball is hit by Gordon. Blocked by Lundqvist and Bakasau. Gordon will try it again. That's dug up by Duggan. Joust at the net. Save at the net. Good save by Drager. Hit and a block by Higgins. Virtue, Drager. And Drager able to get it through the block. Ohio State winning another long rally.
So they are fundamentally sound. They're well coached. They're fit. They hang in rally. They're well skilled. They're just a little young. 8 freshmen on the roster.
11 serving 16. Going back to serve now for Ohio State is Anna Anderson. She is another Swede freshman into the net. 17-11. Hawaii leading. Over 9,000 here tonight. For all intents and purposes, you can call it a sellout. For all intents and purposes. I don't know if there's any 2 seats together. Bakasau sets up Willoughby to Gordon. Gordon able to handle it. Dylan Roman is there to Bakasau. Outside Willoughby again. Gordon, off Gordon. Drager was the only one in front of Willoughby. And Gordon knew it. And Gordon tried to slide back to where she thought that kill shot was going to be. She chose right.
Jill Siding went to her left end, did not make it to the outside. I'm not sure it ever leave. It's almost lethal and unfair to leave just one blocker on Willoughby.
17 kills now for Kim Willoughby.
Back row defenders can be at risk, you know.
Yes, they can. Serving will be Header for Lutheran. 18 serving 11. Popped up by Gordon. Virtue goes to Drager. Drager is blocked. Lundqvist. And also up was Willoughby.
And for those who might have just joined us, Maya Gustine not playing. Got the bad foot. She got a clasher. What do they call it?
Inflamed bottom of her foot.
Inflamed bottom of her foot, yeah.
Gordon.
Plantar fasciitis. That's what it is. When Anderson has come in to play for us, one of the things about Hawaii, they are deep this year, about 3 deep at every position. And right now, they're just wearing down this Ohio State team. Jim Stone finds himself down 9 here in Game 3, 0-2 in games.
Carry into the game. Serving is Alustre, and she serves it wide. Hawaii leading by 8, 20-12 in the third game. Serving will be Drager. A big toss that jumps her. That ball dug up by Villa Roman. Carey goes outside to Willoughby, and Willoughby gets her 18th kill. Jim Stone calls a timeout. We will too. 21-12. Hawaii over Ohio State. Hawaii is closing in on the wheat cookies made with olive oil. Big Island candy. 21-12. Lundqvist serves. And that is an ace. Gordon unable to lift it. That does not bode well for Ohio State, who tried to put some energy into their play here in the third game. And they come out and an ace is chopped up on them. Gordon to Virtue. Back to Gordon. Triple block is up. That's off of Willoughby. And down to Gordon. Able to get her 10th kill. Gordon, the National Freshman of the Year last year. And she will go back to serve now for Ohio State as you look at Kim Willoughby. Willoughby with 18 kills in this game.
That last swing by Gordon had a little bit of anger and frustration in it. She doesn't like getting ace like she was. She doesn't like having 9 errors to go along with 10 kills.
Puts it into the net. And you can see the frustration, too, right there.
She is frustrated. She got 12 digs, but she's hitting 028. She normally hits 300, so it's been a very frustrating night for her. Hawaii certainly had her well scouted. It was well publicized, how good a player she was. One of the top 24 players in the country last year. Second-team All-American.
Jennifer Carey went back, dribbled it off her foot. She's ready to serve now. 23-13, Hawaii up by 10. Jackie Shark goes outside. Ball is hit by Miller and in. Amanda Miller, number 11.
Amanda Miller, one of 2 Colorado players who made Player of the Year in the state. Different divisions, high school divisions.
Styling now will serve for Ohio State. Serves it wide. 24-14. And you can see the way Ohio State, just in the body language, how they have become very frustrated in playing against Hawaii. This is going to be a very good team, though.
Oh, they are. They just bounce back from this. Remember, they've got to play Colorado tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And then UCLA on Sunday. And they do need to bounce back. I'm sure Jim Stone will let them know this isn't the end of the world by losing to Hawaii.
Becky Shard serves, and then Duggan able to get the ball to behave and fall to the court. 25-15. Lundquist comes back into the front row along with Kahumoko and Bogart. And now, for the first time coming into the game for Hawaii, number 8, Melody Eckmeyer. Eckmeyer, 6'3", sophomore, Simi Valley, California. Her sister, of course, plays for UCLA. Serving is Duggan, 25, serving 15. Waiting for it. And Drager, and the net violation called on Hawaii as Drager hit it to Willoughby in the back row. So Miller will go back to serve now. Hawaii up 25-16. Hawaii up in this match. If you just joined us, 2 games to none. Miller serves. Duggan, carry. Little touch by Bogart that's blocked. Here's Willoughby. Willoughby goes to Kahumoku. That's off the double block. Gordon is there. The Shark, and the ball is hit by Drager, and Drager hit the antenna. 26-16. Hawaii is up now by 10. Bogart serves. Gordon, Shark. Here's Gordon. Gordon able to get it through the double block of Eckmeyer and also Carey. Anderson comes into the game for Ohio State, 26-17. Tomorrow we'll have football for you. We will start at 10 p.m. tomorrow night on K5, the home team. It'll be Hawaii against Eastern Illinois. Eckmeyer saves it after being blocked. Carey chases it down. Kahumoku rolls it into the court. Ball is hit by Styling. What a dig by Duggan. And the ball is hit long. Hit long by Kahumoku. 26-18.
Ohio State refusing to give up. Watch this hit by Ohio State, and Duggan just pops it right up. Unfortunately, Lilly can't keep it in play.
The serve by Anderson goes long, 27-18. So Kahumoku goes back to serve now for Hawaii. Gordon bumps it to Sharp. Back to Gordon, and it's blocked by Carey.
One of the reasons why Jen Carey is in there, Jim, she had a fabulous spring game against Stanford, blocked well for Dave Shoji in that game against Stanford when they beat them, and now has earned some blocking time up front in this match.
Illustrate serving. Gordon hits it. No, they say off the block. Say off the block. It just tickled the fingertips. 28-19. Hawaii 2 points away from capturing this match against Ohio State and winning the first game of the 2002 season. Serving is Drager. Ball is hit by Willoughby. That'll be returned. Gordon goes back to the middle. With it is Miller. And Miller from behind a 3-meter line. Able to get the kill.
Amanda Miller.
Corner. So Drager will go back to serve. It is 28-20. Hawaii still 2 points away. Drager serves. That ball hit by Illustre, chased down by Eckmeyer, and Illustre puts it into the net. That's another point for Ohio State. It is 28-21.
Hawaii playing some loose points, and this is what Dave Shoji said about this team. They go in and out of focus sometimes. Let's see what they do to get back in.
Drager to Duggins into the net. That's a save by Carey, and Willoughby gets it across. But advantage for Ohio State. Styling is blocked by Willoughby. And we have match point, and this crowd will stand. Willoughby has certainly thrilled tonight. She is worth the price of admission watching her play this game.
I would agree. Any doubt about player of the game for her?
No, not at all.
Let's just phone it in.
Here's Gordon. Gordon hits it just inside the back line, and it's not over yet. 29-22, the score of the first two games, 30-24, 30-24, and we're very close to that now. Gordon will serve. She cannot make a mistake. Serves it. It's in. That's an ace for Gordon. Hawaii trying to take the easy way out.
Either that or they're trying to make it 30-24 again.
29-23. Gordon again. Dug up by Villa-Roman. Duggan. And that ball mishit. Mishit by Jackie Sharp. And this match is over. And Hawaii sweeps Ohio State 30-24, 30-24, 30-23. An excellent statement made by Hawaii in the